Hi, and welcome to episode 2 of Teaching in Japan. In today's episode, I'm going to be talking about TEFL, TESOL, and CELTA. So just like in episode 1, what do these letters actually stand for? TEFL stands for Teaching English as a Foreign Language. TESOL stands for Teaching English as a Second Language. And CELTA stands for Certificate in English Language Teaching to Adults. Great, so what does all this mean? Well, let's start with CELTA. CELTA is one of the most well-known courses worldwide. It is internationally recognized and is known by companies, employers, and employees. But as a new starter, you might not be aware of what CELTA actually is or why do it in the first place. Well, CELTA is normally done by people who are interested in teaching English as a foreign language on a more permanent or long-term basis. Some people choose to do it because they are interested in teaching English in native English-speaking countries to foreign students. The course itself is usually run by universities or language centres and can take about 4 to 5 weeks to complete, although some places do offer part-time options. One thing to note is that this is not an online course, it is a classroom-based course. You are assessed via 4 written assignments where you can receive a pass or a fail. You also have classroom time whereby you are assessed in a total of 6 hours teaching 2 different levels. Also, your attendance can be taken into consideration as to whether you pass or fail the course. The cost for the course does vary from country to country and from centre to centre, but in the UK the average cost is usually about £1,000. Finally, this certificate is awarded via the UCLES, which is part of the University of Cambridge, which is the main reason why it is known worldwide and accepted in many countries. Okay, so next I'm going to talk about TEFL and TESOL. Now, people who normally do these types of courses are normally unsure of their long-term commitment to teaching English, or they don't want to part with such a large amount of money and pay for the CELTA course. Both courses are more or less identical. The only difference is usually to do with the students that you'll end up with. With TEFL, your students are more or less going to be school children, those who are learning English as a foreign language as part of their curriculum. Whereas TESOL, it's going to be students who are learning English as a second language. So more or less these are going to be adults who want to have English as a second language to improve their businesses, to open up more options, or because they want to become more fluent, or quite simply they might be moving to a native English speaking country, so need to know English. Okay, so both of these courses are usually done online, and they can take anywhere from about a week up to maybe a few months to complete. It varies on what type of course you actually choose to do. Normally, both TEFL and TESOL are combined into one certificate. They've got many crossovers, so what most companies do now is have them as a single course under the heading of TEFL. The assessments that are usually involved in the courses, again, can vary depending on which company you choose to do the course with, but usually there's going to be some form of written assessments. There might be multiple choice questions, there might be some lesson planning. If you're lucky, some companies do offer a classroom-based course, so you will be assessed on your overall performance. Now, for your grading, normally your work will be sent off, it will be submitted online, and there will be a person who will mark your papers and give you an overall percentage for the module or for the written piece of work. That will then be taken into consideration, and that percentage will then either say whether you pass or you fail. So just like CELTA, it is possible to fail the course. Now, as for the price, costs again do vary from company to company, from course to course, depending on whether you choose a short course or a long course. So some courses can be free, some courses can be up to £1,000. Average, I would say, is between £500 to £600. Okay, so there are actually different types of courses that you can do for TEFL and TESOL. Some of them are free and they might last only a week. They're usually just to give you a head start if you're going to be doing a volunteer kind of project. If you've already got teaching experience, maybe you did a PGCE or a degree at university, then you might be advised to just do the 40 hours TEFL training. If you've had no experience before, industry standard is usually minimum of 100 hours. For some countries, it's 120 hours of TEFL training. Okay, so now that you've got all the information about the different courses, you're probably wondering which one is the best one to do to get a job here in Japan. Now, I know a few people that's done CELTA, and in my opinion, if you do CELTA, you're going to be overqualified for the majority of the jobs that are here in Japan. So the one to aim for is TEFL. I would recommend the company I went with, I2I, because they are very well known here in Japan. Again, industry standard is the 120-hour course. However, if you do have previous experience teaching in other countries, or you've done a PGC or university degree in teaching, you'll probably be more or less fine, because most of the positions here in Japan are being an ALT, so you are an assistant, so you probably won't be doing lesson planning and a lot of the things that you learn on the course. So it just depends on how confident you are as a person. If you want that extra confident boost, or you want that assurance and the knowledge that you're going to be a good teacher, then do TEFL.